Hello guys and welcome to another edition of the RPG Maker VXA's development journal. The game I'm making is Dragon Blade, if you haven't watched any of the journals before. And what I'm trying to do with this game basically is make it an open world, give the player choices, morale choices, and then have different stories for the player when he picks up one thing and then the other. Uh, that means whether he decides if he's good or bad, he's gonna have different stories. The other thing I'm trying to do is make this world as open as possible, give the player a lot of things to do, whether it's on the good or on the bad side. There's gonna be a lot of customized optional quests that are only gonna be available to one or the other type of character. One more thing I have, well, some of the other things I have are like property ownership. You can buy houses in villages and cities. Resource gathering. There's resources. There's gonna be resources all over the map, similar to this area over here, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of items that you can craft. There's gonna be crafting guilds or and stuff that you can visit. You're also gonna have crafting tables in your house. Yeah, I'm just trying to give like an open world feel where the player feels like he can go and explore wherever he wants to, pretty much. I hope from what I've said about this game, you guys feel like it's what I'm trying to do. This is just the demo version that I'm gonna develop first, and it's gonna be available, of course, for free. I'm hoping that it's gonna be available on itch.io, and you guys can play it. You can give me advice, and in fact, it's gonna help me a lot if any of you play it when it's out, because I'm just one person, and when I'm going through the playthrough, I'm not seeing all the bugs, or just some of the bugs don't happen. And when you have people playing your game, it's much easier to find these annoyances. That's how I'm gonna call them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I haven't done a video in a couple of days just because I've been swamped with work. So here's one today, and I'm hoping I can release a few more videos over the weekend. So yeah, let's get right into this. Uh, by the way, I did that intro just because, well, I only did an intro in the beginning of the game. I didn't do one for like in the beginning of the development journal series, and I didn't do one in any of the other episodes of this. So this is just a recap of what the game is, what it's going to be. Hopefully there's over 100 areas. Again, I said that you're going to be able to visit just in the demo version of the game. All of them are, just one of the areas is not custom designed. All of the other ones are designed by myself. Uh, yeah, let's get into the southern road, escaping the village south. So you can see that I have already dungeons here. I have the stone of Ra set up. I have an empty dungeon that really needs a purpose, a name, and everything else. Uh, then we have Outcast camp here. That's gonna be an interesting place. Let's go and visit it. This is basically gonna be filled with a lot of outcasts, etc., that have been banned from villages, or a lot of rough folk, bandits, and stuff that just are kicked out of society. So they have made this old village, their camp, and well, you're gonna see what the story is gonna be here, but it's gonna only happen if you go through the southern road. Just like there's a story that you can find only if you go through the northern road to Dollar City. And if you haven't watched the series before, the northern and the southern road really lead from the tutorial area, the beginning area, to the first city of the game. And the only piece of land that you cannot revisit in this place, that is not included in this open world, it's not open actually, is the beginning village, like where the player starts, just so you guys know. Anyways, but you can revisit the roads that lead to that village. Anyway, that lead from that village to buildings. You can go back those roads, you can go back into those dungeons, and you can visit the outcast camp. And you can visit both roads in one game if you want. Okay, so I need some outcasts here. I don't know if I have generated them, let's see. Sorry about the commercials.
Sorry,
Outcast,
girl.
outcast.
Time to sit back in the sunshine and indulge in your favorite music. And with Spotify
Nope,
Premium, you can enjoy your
we're gonna
summer
have to go
tunes
ahead and create
without
those.
ads. For a limited time,
Let's
Premium
generate
is
random
just
faces.
99 euro cents for 3 whole months. So
You
soak
don't
up
look
your
like an
music
outcast, you
without
don't look like... Yeah,
interruptions.
you look
Tap on
like
the
you can
banner to
be a
learn more.
bandit or something. Uh, let's give him... Ooh, that's weird to do. Let's give him some type of nice, interesting outcast clothes. If you want to know, that looks like he's a warrior. That looks like he has a hoodie on. Yeah, this is gonna work. Just like a regular bandit, and that's gonna be in the beginning of the game. So if you choose to fight them, because that's gonna be an option, these guys are not gonna be that tough as the later monsters that you might have seen in the other game dev journals. Anyways, let's output him. Uh, Outcast one. Generate another random outcast. No, no, no. I have a feeling that I've seen some of these faces before. It's just I've generated so many faces with this generator. Outcast 2. Make sure you name everything in your game, makes things like a lot easier. Or if you don't have a name, just like make sure you leave it in capital letters so you don't forget later. Because like when it gets this big, it's kind of hard to keep up with all the stuff that you've added to it and some of the stuff that you maybe haven't finished. Oh, she looks like an outcast. Oh my god, what's up with those eyes? Weird. No. Come on, outcast 3. Okay, that's fine. And we need a leader for the outcasts. They're like if you choose to fight them, they're all gonna lead into one battle, and it's gonna be versus you. Yep. I'm still kind of figuring. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm still kind of figuring out how strong they're gonna be. I think not so strong, but again, I'm not sure that you're gonna be able to, like, if you choose the fight route, I'm not sure you're gonna be able to do that immediately. And I'm gonna get this face as well here. Um, Outcast, what is it going to be? Magician and leader. That's what I wrote, right? Yeah. Okay. By the way, I don't know how long this journal is gonna be. Simply again, because I had so much work these days. I'm feeling a bit tired, and I'm probably gonna go out at some point with some friends and stuff. Have a beer, chill out. They're all gonna have pretty much random movement. For now, I'm not gonna set them up as who they are or what they're gonna say. I'm just trying to get an idea of how this thing is going to look. So all of the three normal outcasts are going to be moving, and it's just gonna be the leader, the dude that leads them, and his magician is the guy that's gonna be static here, or fixed, as this game engine calls it. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be our dungeon uh, with outcasts, and I kind of have to redo the southern forest, the southern exit, or the southern road to Tolem City. I think that's how I called it. Oh, we are way ahead in the game. Roads. There it is. There's way too many dinners here, and I need to remove at least one of these. Oh, sorry, that's not the right house. It's this one. Okay. And the other thing I wanted to do a little bit of in this journal, because it's a huge game so far, like for an indie game, like there's so many territories and stuff to do, is get a little bit of those resources going around. Think a little bit how we're gonna spread them around the game world so that they are not too much and not too few. So the first thing that I'm gonna go around and do here is I have a system that I use, and you can check it out. I have a how to do it tutorial. This is a system where when the player picks up something, uh, it respawns after a certain amount of time. Now, the biggest thing here that we're gonna do is figure out how often how often things are going to respawn. I guess is the word I'm looking for. Since some items are going to be supposedly very rare, I don't want them to respawn soon at all. So that being said, items like resources like mithril, etc. If you pick it up, you're gonna have to wait for a long, long fucking time for it to respawn. Anyways, this is the system. I can give you a quick look over it. And this specific thing that I'm responding is the so-called thistleweed, and this is the thing that in my game you use to craft, I'm sorry, not craft, but cook health potions with. Now, what I need to do is edit the time that the game waits before the thing responds. Now you can only place 999 frames here in the wait command, and if you try to do more, it's just gonna switch it over again to 999. But the way to get around that is to copy and see this row of the script and just paste it as many times as you want it to go there. Now let me think a little bit, because yeah, that's not gonna be enough. Let me see how many rows is that. 5, 10, I think, 15, 20. Okay, so that's over 20,000 frames, around 23, 24,000 frames. Uh, I think that's fine for this time, because I want it to be fairly, how should I put it, fairly often, like in use in the game. Have it all around, so like decide whether he wants to use it to, you know, pick it up or not, or actually whether the player wants to use crafting. It always entirely his decision in the game. It does save up some money, to be completely honest. So um, we are gonna delete all of these old resources I have here, because simply we need to copy this one wherever we want it to be, and like I said, this is gonna be probably the most common resource here that you can find. However, these specific events have old scripts on them, so that's why I'm deleting them and replacing them with the one you just saw. This one was experimental for me, and yeah, great. Again, I'm gonna be very dependent on testing, because it's hard to balance these things out. So like when the game comes out, just like if you could test it out for me, that's awesome. When the demo alpha, I guess that's what it's gonna be, because Again, I have no testers and I cannot release the full version before I know all bugs. So it's gonna be something of a demo alpha version of what the game is going, the final version of the game is going to be. Okay. The desert's gonna have different types of plants for resources. Just wanna point that out immediately. Okay, Talam City. So I'm gonna remove this and place this over here because again it doesn't make sense for this to be there. Mercenary Guild. Crafting house is something new I'm creating. This is where you're gonna craft before you have a house. By the way, the house prices, etc. in Tolem City specifically and in the villages are gonna go up a little bit due to these of collecting money after eastward of Tolem City. So that area, the drop starts getting larger, and houses and stuff is something I want there to work a little bit yet. So yeah, I'm gonna increase the prices because 5,000 is nothing. Like there can collect that very easy. Uh, I'm thinking that's one more thing that I'm trying to decide is like whether to have the dungeons. Let me see. Whether to have the dungeon monsters, not the dungeons, dungeon monsters respawning at some point. Like I'm definitely gonna have to do that because it's an open world, and even after the main story ends, I want the player to be able to go around the world, etc. But I am contemplating whether to do that with all of the dungeons or with just some of them. Like more generic, maybe leave the quest dungeons to be uh, just one time visit only, and then all the monsters are dead after you kill them. But have like generic dungeons, like the one we did with the spider in one of the earlier episodes. Have those dungeons respawning. Again, if you have an opinion on this, don't be like you can comment at any point. Uh, it's gonna help me out a lot, and it's gonna make the game better, maybe. Probably, like, it's always good to get perspective, because okay, so this area you're not gonna be able to pick any plants. The only reason why you're in this area is to speak to spirits, like Stone of Rise, something I think we did in a previous development journal. I might be lying too. Sorry, I stopped talking again. This journal is not gonna be like very easy to watch, but like I guess this is just like the usual process of game dev because I made something with Unity as well. You guys might have seen it. It's on my channel. I made it because my nephew really liked playing it. It's a space shooter game. It kind of got screwed up towards the end when I was developing it because well, a lot of people, like a few people played the game on GameJolt, and they said that the game would be better with strafe controls, which it didn't include until that point. And strafe controls means that they wanted the player's object, in this case ship, to be moving sideways. And I agreed with them, it was a good idea, however I didn't execute the idea correctly. Instead of maybe making strafe controls to follow the mouse, which would have been really nice for this specific game. So if you guys can go check it out, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. I made it so that it's buttons on your keyboard, and it just kind of feels really weird. But again, you make mistakes and you learn. That being said, I couldn't fix the game because I lost my hard drive. It just burned out on me, and I was silly enough to not to have it backed up, at least not the important file, not none of the
Summer.
important files or anything,
Time to sit back in the
which was
sunshine and
such a
indulge
mistake,
in your
dude.
favorite music.
I can't
And with
believe I made
Spotify
that, but
Premium, you can
yeah,
enjoy your summer tunes without
my game
ads.
projects burnt
Log
out.
on
I
to
have like
Premium and just
older
add your
versions of
favorite
the game
songs for
projects,
free
but
homewards.
that's
So
just like
soak up
so
your
far
music,
back.
add
They haven't been
introductions,
developed yet,
tap on the banner to learn more.
and yeah, if I'm gonna delete these, I think I have these as I'm deleting them because I think I have them as resources. And there's one more bug that there is in that game, in the final version of the game. I'm gonna let you guys figure that one on your own if you want to. Anyways, I was placing events here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there's gonna be one more here. As you can see, we just the grass areas, etc. The main map areas are so many. Like we've been adding the very first and the very first resource, and we still cannot include it in the entire game. Like I swear to God, this is taking me the entire episode of the game dev journal. Sorry again about that, but yeah, that's the process. That's the true process. And I was talking about my other game and the bugs in it kind of got me talking about them. But the thing about that game was just a second. I need to figure out what graphic I'm gonna use here because it's important to know what the thing about that game was. Navy Roots. What was Navy Roots? Oh, I'm gonna need to check out my. We have wood, leather. Of course, all of those are for crafting. Like, what do you call it? All of those are for crafting weapons mainly. I'm thinking of including uh, other stuff that you can craft in them. I'm not gonna say what other stuff I want to include, but yeah. Just a second, checking out my navy roots. Is that the right thing? Yeah. Navy roots used for production of health up potions. Hmm. Is that what we're gonna use them for? To be completely honest with you guys, I totally don't agree with the health up potions. These are potions that basically you have health up and mana up potions, and they just basically go make your health go up for forever. And it didn't make sense to me, but I guess we can make health up potions in the game, and they're not gonna be sold anywhere. The only way you can make them is craft them, and the amount of navy roots in the game is gonna be extremely small, and that's gonna make them a little bit balanced, I guess. Yeah, that's how I'm proceeding now. Again, there's gonna be a whole bunch of testing with this, so yeah, apply. Now, we don't need to make this all over again. We just need to start copying pages. Let's go to this event and say paste, and we're gonna just change the text. Uh, Actually, no full stop. I'm gonna remove item. It's just okay. Apply. So now you need to change the item that we receive. Change item. As you can see, I have a lot of these, and they're already created and stuff. And we have to remove this wheat. apply. Okay, perfect. We can delete this page. It's not, we don't need it. Now we're gonna go over here again, grab our second page, copy event. Okay. Shit, new page, paste that page. Actually, delete page here. We don't need to create a new one. And then we're gonna go and copy. Actually, didn't. Well, I actually did need to do this, but I could have done it in a different way, much more efficient. Yeah. Well, at least I learned something today. Anyways, delete, paste. Now this is gonna be a killer to wait for. Let's just change the graphic. Where is our navy roots? There they are. Black, and we need to fix this. Control C, Control V. Like you're not gonna wait around for this, believe me. You're definitely not gonna be awake around for this. This is gonna be a plan that takes hours to regrow back in game time. Okay, and you can. I don't think from the way that RPG Maker is made. I'm sorry, we didn't need. I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna delete it from the beginning of the game. Uh, it's only gonna be available a little bit later. Let's see where. I guess we're gonna have the first one over here. We're gonna skip placing one over here. We might have one over here, but I'm not sure. So for now, no. Okay, I'm not sure where the next one is gonna be. Oh, here. Here is definitely gonna be the second navy route. Now we're gonna skip this part. We don't need to have one in the old farm ruins. And we might have one in the abandoned tent. Just let me figure out where exactly am I gonna place it. Over here, I think it's fine. So far we have like 3 or 4, right? This is an interesting concept. I might have like just 3 or 4 from the entire game world, at least in the demo version. Uh, but I might make an area where navy roots grows like tremendously, but to get there, you're just gonna have to fight a whole bunch of dudes that they're gonna be really, really fucking tough. It's not gonna be in the apartments area. We might have one in the eastern forest over here, and then the central forest. I don't know. Central Forest Part 2 maybe? Hmm. I'm getting close to my time limit for today, guys, because like I said, I'm gonna go out. So we spread out 2 of the resources of the game throughout the entire game world, so that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna have to delete this one from here because yeah, we don't need it there. Let's see what the next one is actually. Let's check out the graphics that they have. Oh yeah, the shield plan. This is gonna be a little bit more um, often. You're gonna need it more often, and it's gonna be like an antidote. You're gonna be making antidote potions off of this. So we're gonna cancel this, and the easier way I was gonna do this before is just change the sprite over here to the Shuri plant. Like I said, I did it, I created the new event in a stupid manner before. Anyways, you found Shuri plant. No, okay. And then we're gonna just change this. We're not gonna delete it. It's gonna be to the Shuri plant, increased by 1. And then everything else is, well, the Shuri plants are gonna be a bit slower than the other things. Like, if you wanna calculate times, etc. here, have in mind that 60 frames is a second. I think like a minute was around 3000 frames or something, 3200 or something like that. Like I said, this is gonna be a little bit more fun than the other plants. And just like the current plant, you're gonna be able to see it everywhere. These are also sellable, just in case you don't want to deal with crafting. You're gonna be able to sell them. I have no idea yet whether to make the crafting system, skill, like whether or not the player is gonna have to learn this or not. I'm still thinking it over. My friends are gonna kill me here. I promised them that I was gonna be there like half an hour ago. Shit. Anyway. Got one more here. Okay, this is the last resource I'm gonna do seriously. In the next episode, I'm gonna finish creating the crafting guild. It actually replaced the jail because I don't know. I don't know if I want jail system in the game. And if I really want it, I can reintroduce it at any point. So it's not a big deal. It's not a big loss. Although I have a Shuri back here, I cannot get this area. Anyways. These two are gonna be like the most common plants that you're gonna have in grasslands. You're gonna be able to make, like, if you want to, you're gonna be able to make a bunch of antidote potions, and then maybe sell them, maybe use them yourself, because some minions had poison and it does suck. I nerfed it a little bit because like before it was just a killer, it was awful. Uh, the reason I went into painted mode is because this thing over here is the same thing as our event, and it just needs to go. Wait, yeah. No. No? Okay, what was it? This one. Perfect. Now we can go back to events and replace it with an event instead of just a graphic, Just now, Fortress 7, Stone of Ra. You're not gonna be able to pick up anything here. Stone of Ra is off limits here. It's a spiritual realm. You're not. You should not be able. You're not allowed. There's so much. Man, the map is like, I'm just thinking how the fuck did I make all of this and why? Why did I create such a huge freaking map? Like, these are just the outside areas that we're going through right now. Every area has like 90% of the places that you can visit have, are enterable. You can enter them. Like 90% of the buildings you can enter, which is ridiculous. Most of them have 2 levels or 3. Okay, thank you guys very much for watching. Again, I'm gonna try to catch up on videos very soon, and uh, yeah, again, hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. See you next time.